Oh hey, a new notification. Oh, shoot. This guy too? What? Uh-oh, no guys! What do you expect me to do? Unfortunately, many TF2 players get scammed. And as a well-known trader, it sucks to be the one to hear about it all the time, particularly knowing that the vast majority of scammers use transparent methods that can easily be prevented if you do a little bit of research. However, that isn't to say that all scams are obvious. In fact, throughout the history of TF2, there have been some incredibly dangerous scams that a disproportionate percentage of smart people have actually fallen for. I'm talking about scam methods that are so rare, intricate, and downright crazy that even some of the most experienced traders, like myself, could potentially fall for. In this video, I'm going to talk about some of these scam methods, bringing to light some of the craziest and most dangerous scams I have seen in my time trading. Further, because the majority of these scam methods are unfortunately still possible to this day, I'm also going to delve into these scams in as much detail as possible so that you guys will know exactly what to expect from these dangerous scam methods and be better prepared to fight them in the future. Alright, so without further ado, let's get right on into it. Here are the craziest scam methods in the history of TF2 trading. Coming in at number 7, we have the PayPal chargeback scam. Now, throughout the history of TF2, this might just be one of the most infamous classic scams out there. However, due to the advent of safe cash trading with sites like marketplace.tf, the scam really doesn't even happen that often anymore, making it almost, in a way, more dangerous than ever simply because people don't know to expect it. So, how does this scam work? Well, you're probably aware of a simple going first scam. I don't know if that's actually the word that most people use, but it's kind of the way I like to describe it. Essentially, in a going first scam, you will have somebody offering something that is outside of the trade window. For example, someone might promise you an Amazon gift card, with the only catch being that you have to send your items, your TF2 items, to them first before they send you the Amazon card. So you go ahead, you send them the TF2 items, and then guess what? They don't send you the gift card. You got scammed. Well, you can simply avoid these scams simply by never going first. What makes a PayPal chargeback even more nefarious is the fact that you can send your stuff second and still get scammed. Essentially, what will happen is they will send you the PayPal money, you will send them the items, the keys, the unusuals, whatever they are, and then guess what? At a later date, the scammer will revoke the transaction with what is called a PayPal chargeback. Essentially, they will claim that some person had unauthorized access to their account, and they will take all of their money back, keeping all of your keys, unusuals, or items in their inventory. While it is technically possible to dispute a PayPal chargeback, as I have actually done before, it is unfortunately not guaranteed that you will get your stuff back, since virtual items legally are in a little bit of a gray area where PayPal doesn't technically have to ever give you anything. At number 6, we have the premium sharking scam. Now, as I'm sure many of you guys are aware, Backpack.tf has a premium subscription service that allows traders to gain access to additional site features by paying a few keys every month. In particular, one of the most useful features subscribers get is a tool called Premium Search that allows someone to locate the owners of whatever item they are looking for. Unfortunately, however, as great as this tool is, the search can be easily abused. You see, blatant scammers can filter the search to find new unboxes, and then go and look at each owner of each new unbox to see how newbie the person is. If the unboxer has a pretty big inventory and has traded in the past, then the scammer won't bother with them. But if they can find someone who looks new to TF2, who has unboxed an unusual worth, let's say, 200 to 300 keys, the scammer can go in and offer that person a ridiculously low price, and since they know that they are dumb, they might just accept, getting scammed in the process. This type of trade, where a scammer will exploit the inexperience of a noob, is called a shark, and is why I call this the premium search sharking scam. At number 5, we have the trade hijacking phishing scam. Now, out of all the scams on this list, this method is by far the most common at the current moment, which is incredibly scary considering how clever, complex, and dangerous this scam really is. In essence, this scam is the next evolution of phishing scams that works around the mobile authenticator. Someone will add you on Steam, typically a bot, and will link you to some trade website that you haven't heard of. If you click on the link, you will see a familiar sign in with Steam dialog, just like you would normally see on backpack.tf. However, this login is of course fake, and if you enter your username, password, and Steam Guard code, the scammer will be able to log into your account. Now, fortunately, because the mobile authenticator exists, the scammer won't be able to steal your items right away, since every trade still has to be confirmed by you. However, that doesn't mean that the scammer can't do your account any harm. Even without the mobile authenticator, the scammer still has the ability to create and decline offers from your account, meaning that they can still potentially scam you if they can trick you into accepting the wrong offer. As it turns out, the easiest way to do this is to hijack deposits to sites like marketplace.tf or scrap.tf, since these offers involve you sending your items to a bot without expecting to get anything in return. Thus, if you make a legitimate deposit to one of these websites after logging into a fake website, a fraudulent script will run on your account, which will delete your trade offer, create a new trade offer to an almost identical fake bot, and then prompt you to confirm it. And of course, if you're not paying attention, you will click accept, and your items will be lost forever. Fortunately, if you think you logged into a fake website and your account might be compromised, you can fix your account by resetting your password and revoking your Steam API key. For those unaware, the API key is what allows scammers to control your account via code, so if you revoke it, they can no longer make your account create or decline offers instantaneously. Unfortunately though, many people find out about this too late, and at that point they have already been scammed. At number 4 on the list, we have the fake item scam. Now, this scam first hit the scene back in the summer of 2018, and when it did, it took the community by storm. You see, back in 2018, a number of fraudulent games were allowed onto the Steam store via Steam Direct, and once these games were online, the developers were able to create items for their games that looked literally identical to regular TF2, CSGO, or Dota 2 items. And as you can imagine, this didn't go down well. Scammers quickly got a hold of these fakes, and although there were small ways to tell the difference between real and fake items, nobody at the time thought to check for them, such that scammers were able to trade off their fake items left and right to experienced and non-experienced traders alike before the community finally realized what was going on. Fortunately, Valve responded to the incident within a few days, removing the fraudulent games, adding in a small in-trade warning for fake items, and then internally making a few changes to make it harder for games to pull this off in the future. However, due to the fact that this scam has briefly resurfaced a couple of times after Valve implemented these changes, it does seem possible for another large wave of fake games to end up on the Steam store once again, and if they do, this dangerous scam could come right back at us once again. Coming in at number 3, we have the brokering cash out scam. For those who don't know, brokering is the practice of selling other people's items for them, and it is popular within the trading community because brokers can charge a small fee for each item they sell, and clients can get their expensive, hard-to-sell items sold easier. Now, because brokering involves lending your items and trusting that someone will give you stuff back, the vast majority of brokers are high-profile community members who have proven that they are incredibly trustworthy in the past. Or so we like to think. You see, while this is fairly unlikely, it is possible for one of these trusted brokers to go rogue. It is possible for one of the community's most successful and respected traders to suddenly throw up their hands, abuse their reputation, and scam everyone. In what is almost always an exit scam, one of these traders will build up a large inventory of unusuals given to them to broker for other traders. However, instead of actually selling for their clients, they will, without warning, instead simply sell all of their unusuals for cash at once and then disappear from the face of the earth. And of course, anyone who had given them an unusual to broker just got scammed. While this scam is fortunately one of the hardest scams for scammers to pull off, the few times it has occurred on a large scale, it has been disgustingly effective, as some scammers have managed to scam thousands upon thousands in brokered god tier unusuals. To make matters worse, if the scammer truly does this scam well, they will look exactly like any other successful trader, making the scam virtually impossible to avoid, short of never brokering with anyone. At number 2, we have the gifted key credit card scam. Now, if you've ever looked deep into the Manco store, you may have noticed two very peculiar items: the end of the line and Robo Key gifts. You may have thought to yourself, why the hell would anyone buy these? They cost almost $60 and give out a free key to everyone on a server, but yourself. Well, it turns out that before November of 2017, the reason to buy these was to scam others. You see, before this date, when somebody bought a key gift, the keys that would be produced would be tradable even though the item itself had the regular 7-day trade ban. And as it turned out, this provided an easy exploit for scammers. In essence, the scam worked like this. By some means I don't know of, a scammer would obtain a stolen credit card and would then buy a metric crap ton of key gifts from the Manco store. Next, they would get as many accomplices onto the same server at once, and then drop all of the gifts, filling up everyone's inventory with gifted keys. Since these keys were tradable right away, these people would go around trading these gifted keys for other high-tier items, often making offers that seemed too good to be true. That is because, well, they were. Because the keys were purchased using a stolen credit card, the credit card company would quickly reverse the charges. And although Valve clearly tries its hardest never to mess with items in the economy, because the keys were never properly paid for, Valve would be forced to remove them from the game. But because the gifted keys were tradable and had already been traded to countless other people instead of staying in the original scammer's backpack, when Valve deleted the keys, anyone who had traded for them ended up getting nothing, getting scammed in the process. To make things even worse, anyone who traded for the gifted keys had the potential to get trade banned, and although Steam support eventually unbanned all of the victims of this scam, it was simply a slap in the face to whoever had already gotten scammed. Now, due simply to logistics, this scam didn't occur very often, only occurring a few times before 2017, when Valve finally decided to put a 7-day trade ban on keys from key gifts. But even still, every time this crazy scam happened, some of the most experienced traders fell for it, and hundreds of keys worth of items were lost forever. Coming in at number 1, we have the Steam Secret Scam. Now, out of all the scams on this list, I don't think that any can compete with this one in terms of sheer rarity. You see, as far as I'm aware, this scam has only been pulled off a handful of times, but every time that this scam has occurred, it has been used to steal thousands of dollars worth of unusuals from some of the game's most experienced traders, making it one of the most deadly scams in the history of TF2. To explain how it works, however, we have to learn a little bit about another topic: how to program a trade bot. Now, the first step to programming a bot is pretty simple. You have to write some code to get it online on Steam by providing the bot's password. However, with only a password, the bot cannot actually trade automatically, since each trade still has to be confirmed on the mobile authenticator, just like a human. Now, in order to make the bot actually work like a bot, the bot owner has to essentially link the bot to its mobile authenticator by providing the bot two special codes called the shared secret and the identity secret. And man, I don't think it is possible to overstate how powerful these codes are. These two values are essentially the nuclear launch codes of a Steam account, as at their core, they distill the entire mobile authenticator into two textual values. They turn the entire two-factor authentication process into two simple strings, two strings that, along with a password, give somebody the ability to control an entire Steam account. Well, of course, this is exactly what you want to do with a trading bot. Extracting these codes is inherently dangerous because if they ever fell into the wrong hands, someone could hijack the entire bot, stealing every single item from it in an instant. In essence, this is how the Steam Secret Scam works. A scammer will find a way to steal the source code of a bot, grab the bot's secrets and passwords, and then trade everything from that account into their inventory. However, this scam isn't just limited to bots. As it turns out, it can also affect people's main accounts, and this is where the scam gets absolutely deadly. You see, it is possible to automate your trading like a bot can if you simply extract your secrets and download a script to auto-confirm trade offers. Because this isn't that tricky, many experienced traders, particularly ones with high inventory values, are tempted to try this out. However, in doing so, these traders are essentially storing their passwords and at least one of their secrets in plain text on their computer, where a scammer could easily steal them in a number of different ways. In the past, one of the most successful methods has been the fraudulent script. In this scam, the scammer creates a fully functioning automatic trade script that also happens to hijack its users' credentials. And once a sufficient number of high-tier traders have logged into the program, the scammer will press a button and will steal every single item from these people's inventories, scamming anyone who ever used the script. Another method involves simple trickery. In this scam, the scammer offers to help write a trade bot for a higher tier trader, whereby at some point in the development process, they convince the client to give them their secrets for testing purposes, stealing their entire inventory shortly afterwards. While there are other ways your secrets can be stolen, I think you get the point. Your secrets are incredibly dangerous, and once extracted, scammers will do anything to steal them. And because of how complex, unknown, and dangerous these scams can be, I think that the secret scam is well deserving of number 1 on this list. Anyway, that is just gonna about do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a look at some of the craziest scams in the history of TF2, and hopefully learned a little bit about how these scams work, and what you could do to avoid them in the future. If you think I missed any scams in the video, or just want to add on to anything I've said, I'd love to hear your take in the comment section below. Until next time guys, thanks for watching.